Welcome to my video.
And liftoff of Space Shuttle Discovery.
Space. Where better to look for alien craft visiting our planet? In September of 1991, the Space Shuttle Discovery captured an unidentified object on film. What you're seeing now is actual footage shot by NASA cameras from that shuttle mission. Watch the top of your screen. Note the object that moves from right to left. Two mysterious flashes, and it makes an immediate 135-degree turn and accelerates. This is followed by a strange streak of light, which seems to narrowly miss the unknown object. This dramatic footage has been in dispute since it was shot.
I studied it extensively over maybe a 2-year period at least.
University of Nebraska physicist Jack Kasher worked for nearly 10 years in the research and development of a Star Wars defense system for the upper atmosphere. His quantitative analysis of the NASA footage concludes that the UFO cannot be explained as a natural phenomenon.
It's clearly above the atmosphere and air glow of the Earth. It maneuvers, it changes direction, it accelerates, and so the only thing really left is spacecraft.
Others think this object is simply a small ice particle floating a few feet from the shuttle. Ice particles are a common waste product of the numerous shuttles that have orbited Earth. But Kasher is convinced NASA has recorded strong evidence of a large, intelligently controlled alien space vehicle.
Well, wasn't that interesting? Secret war in space, NASA cover-up, rare footage, proof that UFOs are real, aliens being attacked by humans. Comes from the YouTube page Evolving the Mind with 1.8 million views. Very interesting. Well, the reason I'm doing this, I have been a big fan of the space program for many, many years. I worked launch and landing rescue support for many years, and whenever the space shuttle was on orbit, I followed the mission very closely on NASA TV. Now, I'm no rocket scientist, but I have amassed some knowledge of the subject. So the video claims that the TV cameras on board the space shuttle captured what looks to be something floating off in space, a UFO per se. They even go on to say that it could be a piece of ice. And then they show this flash down the lower left-hand corner, which apparently this UFO decides to change direction and get out of the way of some particle that's being shot at it. Well, that's all very interesting, but the truth is much more mundane. Ice coming off the space shuttle was very common. It happened almost every launch. And it wasn't just ice. Sometimes there would be a nut or a bolt that got misplaced in the cargo bay, that once you got in the weightlessness of space, it would just simply float away. But I really am going to have to go with the ice theory, because it fits. And not only is it just that piece of ice, if you see down right there, there is something else that's floating around that is, again, changing direction. So basically what you have here is very simple. The flash you see down in the lower left-hand corner is simply the firing of one of the reaction control thrusters on the space shuttle. For a demonstration of what that looks like, just take a look at this video. All right, and of course this one. All right, the reaction control system fires, produces expanding gas which provide thrust. Now, to give you an example of what the expanding gas can do, this is a video of the very first Hubble Space Telescope servicing mission. In this particular shot, you see one of the solar arrays, which was replaced, and since it was no longer needed, it was simply discarded in space. Now, because they did not want this particular piece of material to float back into the telescope or the space shuttle, they did a short firing of the reaction control thrusters to effect a maneuver to move away from it. And as you can see, the expanding gases from those thrusters eventually reach out and cause that solar array to flap in the wind, so to speak. So there you have it. It's not a war in space, folks. Just regular space shuttle stuff. Thanks for watching.
Have a nice day.